Chapter 15. Our entire national security team spent the next 4 days absorbed by the drama unfolding in the open seas off Somalia. The quick-thinking crew of the cargo-carrying Maersk, Alabama, had managed to disable the ship's engine before the pirates boarded, and most of its members had hidden in a secure room. Their American captain, a courageous and level-headed Vermonter named Richard Phillips, meanwhile, had stayed on the bridge. With the 508-foot ship inoperable and their small skiff no longer seaworthy, the Somalis decided to flee on a covered lifeboat, taking Phillips as a hostage and demanding a $2 million ransom. Even as one of the hostage-takers surrendered, negotiations to release the American captain went nowhere. The drama only heightened when Phillips attempted escape by jumping overboard, only to be recaptured. With the situation growing more tense by the hour, I issued a standing order to fire on the Somali pirates if at any point Phillips appeared to be in imminent danger. Finally, on the 5th day, we got the word. In the middle of the night, as 2 of the Somalis came out into the open, and the other could be seen through a small window holding a gun to the American captain, Navy SEAL snipers took 3 shots. The pirates were killed. Phillips was safe. The news elicited high fives all around the White House. The Washington Post headline declared it an early military victory for Obama. But as relieved as I was to see Captain Phillips reunited with his family, and as proud as I was of our Navy personnel for their handling of the situation, I wasn't inclined to beat my chest over the episode. Partly, it was a simple recognition that the line between success and complete disaster had been a matter of inches. 3 bullets finding their targets through the darkness, rather than being thrown off just a tad by a sudden ocean swell. But I also realized that around the world, in places like Yemen and Afghanistan, Pakistan and Iraq, the lives of millions of young men like these 3 dead Somalis, some of them boys really, since the oldest pirate was believed to be 19, had been warped and stunted by desperation, ignorance, dreams of religious glory, the violence of their surroundings, or the schemes of older men. They were dangerous, these young men, often deliberately and casually cruel. Still, in the aggregate at least, I wanted somehow to save them, send them to school, give them a trade, drain them of the hate that had been filling their heads. And yet the world they were a part of, and the machinery I commanded, more often had me killing them instead. That part of my job involved ordering people to be killed wasn't a surprise, although it was rarely framed that way. Fighting terrorists on their 10-yard line and not ours, as Gates liked to put it, had provided the entire rationale behind the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. But as al-Qaeda had scattered and gone underground, metastasizing into a complex web of affiliates, operatives, sleeper cells, and sympathizers connected by the internet and burner phones, our national security agencies had been challenged to construct new forms of more targeted, non-traditional warfare, including operating an arsenal of lethal drones to take out al-Qaeda's operatives within the territory of Pakistan. The National Security Agency, or NSA, already the most sophisticated electronic intelligence gathering organization in the world, employed new supercomputers and decryption technology worth billions of dollars to comb cyberspace in search of terrorist communications and potential threats. The Pentagon's Joint Special Operations Command, anchored by Navy SEAL teams and Army Special Forces, carried out nighttime raids and hunted down terrorist suspects mostly inside, but sometimes outside, the war zones of Afghanistan and Iraq. And the CIA developed new forms of analysis and intelligence gathering. The White House, too, had reorganized itself to manage the terrorist threat. Each month, I chaired a meeting in the Situation Room, bringing all the intelligence agencies together to review recent developments and ensure coordination. The Bush administration had developed a ranking of terrorist targets, a kind of top 20 list, complete with photos, alias information, and vital statistics reminiscent of those on baseball cards. Generally, whenever someone on the list was killed, a new target was added, leading Ram to observe that al-Qaeda's HR department must have trouble filling out that number 21 slot. In fact, my hyperactive chief of staff, who'd spent enough time in Washington to know that his new liberal president couldn't afford to look soft on terrorism, was obsessed with the list, cornering those responsible for our targeting operations to find out what was taking so long when it came to locating number 10 or 14.